Hello, my fellow magical people. Are you feeling lost right now in your life? Is there something that is calling you, or your soul is on fire, but you can't figure out what it's trying to tell you or how to tap into it? Well, I hear ya. You are not alone. I am actually just coming out of this part of my life where I was feeling lost and confused, and I gathered all these techniques and tools, and I've been practicing like crazy every single day to try and uncover what my true purpose is and start living that out and being more aligned with who I authentically am. And I'm going to share with you 3 major things that I had to start practicing and letting go of in order to get into that feeling of alignment and start living the life that I truly wanted to live. If you are returning, welcome back. It's nice to see you again. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Emily, and here you will find videos to do with what I am personally passionate about, and that is how to unlock the secrets of the mind, body, spirit, emotions that we have so that we can start living a more authentic, aligned life with our purpose and just enjoying, having fun, and healing ourselves. So come on, let's dive in and start figuring out who the heck we are and what the heck we're doing here. The first major thing that I needed to do before I could start uncovering who I actually was to spend time on my own and figure out what I actually liked and wanted out of my life. Sometimes we can actually take on the personas of other people, especially if we spend a lot of time with them, such as our partners, our family, and our friends. When we do this, it's actually kind of difficult to tell who you are when you're not with those people. And if you're anything like me, you take on other people's identities because it helps you find your community, it helps you feel accepted and loved, and just allows you to fit in with people, even if that's not actually who you are. And in that lies the problem. Because if we are just searching for acceptance and to fit in, we don't even know what we like or what we actually want because we're so worried about what other people want and what other people like, because we just want to be accepted and we want to be feeling included in things, and we don't want to be rejected. Because sometimes if we are fully aligned with who we are, there's that fear of being cast away or not accepted for who you truly are. And that is a really scary thing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad or that it's wrong. It's just, as a human being, we need to be accepted. We need to find community, because if we didn't, then, especially in the old days, we would be cast away and we would die, literally, in the forest. We would get eaten by a bear or something. Like, that shit was intense back then. And it does kind of get to a point where you do feel like you don't belong anywhere anymore. At least that's what it was for me, because I was just trying to please other people and I was trying to fit in, when really I was missing out on being fully in love with who I am and what I had to give to the world. And once we start to realize that we are doing things like this, like doing stuff just to fit in or doing things just to be liked, we can start untangling and unraveling ourselves from other people to realize who we actually are and what we actually want to do with our lives. So I started doing this by literally just spending more time with myself and asking myself questions like, what does Emily actually like to do? And what does she actually want, with no other exterior interferences or thinking what I should like or what I should want? No, what do I actually want? I also love playing imagination games. So imagining if Emily had an entire day by herself, no limitations, no responsibilities, what would she do? So I invite you to start asking yourself these questions. And if you would like to share, I'd love to hear about your answers to these questions. So pop those down in the comments and let's have a conversation about what you actually want to do and who you want to actually be. It's so exciting. The second major thing that I started to do to try and align myself with who I actually am was sifting through the limiting beliefs that I had adopted throughout my life that were keeping me stuck and closed off and disconnected from my true self and my true purpose. What is a limiting belief? I'm so glad you asked. A limiting belief is a belief that we have about someone, something, or even about ourselves that disconnects us from who we are and blocks us off from our creativity, from our relationships, from our career goals, and from what we actually want out of life. For example, for a really long time, I had a limiting belief that I was not good enough to jump on the internet and start making YouTube videos about things that I was passionate about. Because I believed that I was not good enough, it literally kept me stuck for years and years and years and just feeling like shit because my soul wanted to express itself through video, through fun topics and expansive ideas. And I was cutting myself off from that expression because I believed that I wasn't good enough. Once I shifted this belief that I wasn't good enough, it actually gave me the confidence and this kind of I don't give a toot about what other people think attitude that allowed me to start making and posting videos regularly. And how we can start to identify when we have a limiting belief about something is thoughts like, I can't, or I shouldn't, or I'm not allowed to. Those kinds of things are a limiting thought that you have about your expression, your creativity, and what you can actually create. At first, identifying limiting beliefs can be a little tricksy and they can kind of be hiding in your blind spots. But once you get the ball rolling, you're going to be able to feel it in your body when you feel stuck or blocked. And those ideas about what you're being cut off from are going to start popping up in your mind. Little doors are going to start opening and you'll be able to quickly release those beliefs and exchange them with a more confident and empowering belief that will help you create what it is you want to create. The third thing that I started to do to really align myself with my true nature and my true expression was noticing my thought patterns. I have felt like absolute shit for almost a full decade of my life, and I suffered terrible depression, extreme anxiety and panic disorder. There was even a brief moment of my life where I suffered from agoraphobia, which is the fear of like literally everything and not being able to leave your house. And the reason that I suffered so long was because of the thoughts that I was having. I didn't know that I could change my thoughts. I didn't know that I had a purpose. I didn't know that I could be aligned with the part of myself that actually lit me up and made me feel really good. And because of the negative thought patterns that I kept continually repeating over and over again, I was disconnected from things that made me feel passionately, things that made me feel excited and like filled with joy. I didn't know that it was possible to live a life that actually felt good and healthy and exciting for me. And it really wasn't until I started thinking to myself, I need a different way, that I was able to start changing those thought patterns. And then my thoughts were affecting my emotions and how I felt. And every step I got, every time I changed a negative thought pattern, everything started to shift and change for the better. I had to really work on changing my thoughts and things like intrusive thoughts. I had to figure out how I could combat those. And my depreciating self-talk was awful. I was so mean to myself and constantly thinking that the good life was for other people, but it wasn't for me, kept me perpetually stuck in this negative spiral, this terrible rabbit hole. And I discovered, like many more before me, that our thoughts have an incredible impact on our emotions and how we feel. And once we start to keep tabs on what we're thinking and how we're feeling, we're able to start guiding ourselves and using our inner compass as a tool to show us what makes us feel good and what makes us feel bad. And after that, we can start opening ourselves up to the opportunities and possibilities that we can feel good and that we can live good lives. And that if we shift our perspective enough, we start feeling better, we start feeling more like we can achieve, and that just feels beautifully aligned with what we truly want, which is creativity, love, community, excitement. How I started to shift my thoughts was I created daily challenges for myself where for a few hours at a time, I would be very aware of the thoughts that would come in and just watch them and see how the thoughts actually created either positive or negative emotions in my body. If this sounds like an interesting challenge to you, I invite you to try it, and you will be honestly amazed by what kind of stuff comes up for you, and just recognizing how the thoughts and emotions are linked is just such a cool experience. So I hope that you have enjoyed these 3 major things that I needed to unlock within myself in order to start moving towards my life's purpose and aligning with the version of myself that actually feels good and true and healthy for me. If any of these ideas resonate with you, I would love to hear your comments, your ideas, your expressions about these topics. So just pop those down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a magical day today, and I will see you in the next video.